There is a question that every leader, every president, every CEO, every parent, every manager must ask before they make a decision that affects other people. Not, can I do this? Not, do I have the power to do this? But this. If I do this, where does it end? Because the most dangerous leaders in history were not the weakest ones. They were the ones with enormous power and no patience to think. And right now, in March 2026, the world is paying the price for exactly that. Today, we are going to talk about something that is bigger than any one country, bigger than any one war. We're going to talk about the true cost of brash, impulsive, ego-driven leadership, and what it means for every single person on this planet, including you, even if you are thousands of miles from the battlefield. On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched simultaneous surprise airstrikes across Iran. The supreme leader was killed in the first strike. The decision was made. The missiles were launched. And in that moment, a door was opened. The problem with opening a door is this: you decide when to open it, but you do not always decide when it closes. Within hours, Iran began firing back. Ballistic missiles, drones, naval strikes. Gulf states were hit: Kuwait, Bahrain, the UAE, Qatar. Lebanon's Hezbollah re-entered the fight. The Strait of Hormuz, the single most important oil corridor on Earth, was effectively shut down. And here we are, 26 days later, still fighting, with no clear end in sight. Because as of March 25, 2026, Iran has rejected the US ceasefire proposal. Iran's foreign minister said plainly, "We do not want a ceasefire. We want the war to end on our own terms. You can start a war in one night, but the other side decides when it ends." Let us talk about the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow channel of water at its tightest point, just 21 miles wide. Through that 21-mile gap, every single day passes 20 million barrels of crude oil, roughly 20% of the entire world's daily oil supply. 1/5 of all global liquefied natural gas trade. Up to 30% of the world's fertilizer exports, the chemicals that grow your food. High-tech supply chain components for electronics manufacturing across Asia. That strait is now, as the World Economic Forum described it, functionally impaired. The IEA, the International Energy Agency, called this war the greatest global energy security challenge in history. Not since the 1970s oil embargo has the world faced this kind of energy shock. And economists are sounding alarms that echo that era. Because back in the 1970s, a spike in oil prices triggered a global recession. And as PBS NewsHour reported, central bankers today are haunted by that memory. Their predecessors thought it was temporary. They accommodated. They were wrong. Inflation became entrenched. It took nearly a decade to recover. The Philippines, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nigeria, Egypt, Thailand. These countries did not vote for this war. They did not plan it. They did not want it. They were not invited to the table. And yet, they are some of the hardest hit. The Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, and Brunei rely on imports for between 60 and 95% of their crude oil. Around 80% of Qatar's LNG, liquefied natural gas exports, go to Asia. 2/3 of Iraq's crude oil exports go directly to China and India. All of it moving through that 21-mile channel. All of it now disrupted. The Asian Development Bank put it plainly. Smaller energy-importing economies, including the Philippines, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, are likely to experience comparatively stronger macroeconomic effects. In these economies, higher oil prices tend to transmit rapidly into inflation and exchange rate pressures. Egypt's President El-Sisi described his country's economy as being in a state of near emergency. Pakistan's central bank is now likely to raise, not cut, interest rates just to contain inflation. Across multiple Asian countries, governments have closed schools and told workers to stay home as they try to manage the coming fuel cost surge. They knew the beginning. They did not know the middle. They certainly did not know the end. And nobody does. Because that is the brutal arithmetic of consequential decisions. You control the first move. After that, the board belongs to everyone. Stagflation. The economists are now whispering that word. Stagflation. High inflation and low or no economic growth at the same time. And every 10% rise in oil prices, sustained for most of the year, reduces worldwide economic output by up to 0.2%, a seemingly small number. Until you multiply it across 8 billion people. Is it worth it? Not was the cause just, not was the enemy real, but was the scale of consequences considered? Was the cost to the innocent calculated? Was the question of how this ends ever seriously asked? Because a leader who does not ask that question is not strong. They are simply someone with power and no wisdom about what power costs. 3 lessons from the war the world is watching. 1. The most powerful thing a leader can do is pause, because recklessness dressed in confidence is not strength. 2. Electing a leader is one of the most consequential decisions you will ever make. Choose with the seriousness it deserves. 3. You only ever know the beginning. So before you act, ask, if I do this, where does it end? These lessons are not just for presidents. They are for every person who leads anything. A team, a family, a business, themselves. The world needs more leaders who think before they strike, who feel the weight of consequences before they pull a trigger, who understand that their power is not their own. It is borrowed from every person affected by their decisions. That kind of leader is rare, but that kind of leader is what the world is desperately waiting for. Be that leader in your own sphere, in your home, in your workplace, in your community, in the choices you make every single day. Because the world does not only need better presidents, it needs better people. This is big win mentality. Keep winning.